Well, what do we have here? Hint markers. 213 can be found in this game, but what happens if you collect them all? Let's find out.
After you find every hint marker in the game, they'll all reset. Only this time, they'll all say something different. Seriously.
Can that really be true? Well, there's only one way to find out. Gotta get them all. That's right, we're gonna go through every hint marker in the game. But I don't want you to sit through hours and hours and hours of what I've had to do. I've generously put it together and squished it down to only a little over 40 minutes, that's all. So you can enjoy it. Or you can skip to the end and find out if all the hint markers really say something different after you collect them all. But then you'd be missing out on this.
Here's a little something I like to call an ode to Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, wherefore art thou, Spider-Man? Dost thou what a spider can? Spinneth thou a web of any size? Catchest thou crooks just like yon flies? Thank you. You can dodge anytime. While you're jumping, running, crawling, even swinging. Always try to dodge attacks. Seriously. Whoa, you hit the mother load, the big enchilada. This is it. I'm going to give you a whole mess of hero points. Now, I should let you know, this is the most points I'm ever going to give you, ever. Kind of a letdown when you think about it, huh? I'm sorry you won. What? Sorry. If you're having trouble keeping track of a particular baddie, try using the lock-on camera. Remember that you can toggle lock-on camera on and off, too. Looking for more stylish tips? Well, clean swings are pretty stylish, assuming you can keep it up. What is a clean swing, you ask? Well, you know, the ones where you don't slam into the side of a building. Sure, you may be out of control, but if you look out of control, you aren't being stylish. Rule number 1, style is everything. If you're having trouble finding your next destination, try stopping for a sec and pointing your camera at the destination marker. You'll be amazed how much reorienting like that can help. Spidey stores are located all over the city. Make it a point to check in every once in a while, especially when you find a new one. They have all kinds of great stuff in them, and let's face it, what good are all those hero points you're earning if you don't spend them on something? Am I right? Don't forget to move the camera around if you want to get a better look at something. But don't worry, if you want it back behind yourself, you can always recenter it, you big baby. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to give you some hero points. Unless, of course, I've already given you the hero points, in which case, you're getting jack squat. Ding ding, geography time. Battery Park is the southernmost point on the island. You should be able to see the Statue of Liberty from there, if it's a clear day. Time for a little geography lesson. Inwood Hill Park is the northernmost point in Manhattan. See? Your brain isn't rotting during a video game, you're learning something. Okay, here's a little piece of advice. Hang on, I need to get that. Hello? Oh, hey, baby. Well, no, I haven't forgotten. No? Well, listen, baby, it's not like that. Look, I'll have to get back to you later. This might be a while. Well, no one, baby. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, tell me about it. See, listen, later tonight. Ooh, lucky you. You've stumbled onto a special, super secret, once-in-a-lifetime special hint marker. You get some extra hero points for your trouble. Activate this again, and I'll tell you the same thing, only I'll be lying. Have you been to the Queensboro Bridge yet? You can take it out to Roosevelt Island. Definitely worth a look. When you're looking for hidden items, try looking near bushes and other stuff in parks that might conceal what you're looking for. What I'm saying is, pay attention. Want to try something with a little more flash? You can transition from swinging right into a wall sprint if you're holding sprint and the grab button when you hit a wall. If the bad guys slam you up into the air, try mashing the grab button to restore your balance. That trick also works if you get knocked down. Go ahead, try it. Swinging from one web to another without jumping can get a little hairy at high speeds, but it can be really useful for getting around sharp corners. Oh yeah, and it also gives you the chance to stop, which can be, I don't know, handy. You know, if you're looking to earn power for your spider reflex, it's time to think style. See, the cooler you are, the more juice you're going to earn for that spider reflex meter. What is stylish? How do I know? If you're having trouble finding your next destination, try stopping for a sec and pointing your camera at the destination marker. You'll be amazed how much reorienting like that can help. Having trouble swinging? You know you need an anchor point for your web line, right? That means if you're in a big open area with no buildings or trees nearby, you won't be able to swing. If you aren't already doing it, you should definitely try jumping between your swings. One advantage is that you can steer yourself in the air. Makes it a little easier to maneuver when you can reorient a little before you shoot out another web line. You know, one of the hardest things to get used to about swinging is that you're always a little out of control, but don't freak out. If you panic, you'll just end up making things worse. Now you probably know this already, being the expert gamer that you are. But you can charge your jump while you're swinging around. It's really handy. Just keep pressing the jump button until you're ready to jump, and then wham, off you go. If you do it right, you can charge jump off your web and get some serious distance. You know, if you do a charged jump while you're crawling, you can scale buildings a lot faster. If you press and hold the web button while you're facing an enemy, you'll tie him up. Careful though, some enemies can't be tied up and some will even turn the tables on you. You know, swinging is a funny thing. It seems like everyone has their own way of doing it. Now, I'm not going to say one way is better or anything, but if you're crashing into stuff all the time or missing your turns, maybe you should try a different technique. Don't you think? If you're being attacked and you press the grab button a little too early, you'll try to dodge, but it won't work. So watch your timing, all right? If you're being attacked and you press the grab button, you'll do a dodge move as long as you aren't a total spaz. Now you need to time it right if you don't want to get hit too, so don't just freak out and jam on the grab button in a fight, okay? Boy, those charge jumps are really wild, aren't they? Now, I'm just talking here, but have you ever thought about the possibilities? I mean, you can cover some serious distance with one of those jumps. I guess what I'm saying is, there's a lot of different ways you can use that jump, so don't just do the same doggone thing over and over again, will ya? Charged jumps always give you some forward momentum and some upward momentum. The faster you're moving, the more you'll tend to go forward instead of up. So if there's something tall you're trying to jump over, don't forget to stop moving before you jump to maximize your jump height. Otherwise, bada bing, right into the wall. Dodging is really important. It's helpful against thugs, especially the ones with guns. But you're going to be really happy you have it when you take on a supervillain, because those guys can pack a wallop when they hit you. If you're ever feeling a little overwhelmed by all the controls, well, quit. Now, I'm kidding. Take a look at the pause menu. There's a diagram of all the controls. Once you look at that, I'm sure you'll be ready to take on the world. If you pull the sprint trigger while you're running, guess what? You'll start sprinting. You're Spider-Man, so running's a little gimpy if you know what I mean, but if you gotta run, you might as well run really fast, right? Only thing is, you won't turn that great, so it's not good for tight corridors and things like that unless you like slamming into walls. I mean, hey, that's your own business. You know those big blue discs floating all over the place in the city? Those are called challenge markers. Activating a challenge marker will start a challenge course. You have to complete the course in a set time and there may be other conditions. Haha, it's tricky. Challenges are rated on their difficulty, and you may not be able to complete some of them without upgrading your sorry butt. Don't forget to move the camera around if you want to get a better look at something. But don't worry, if you want it back behind yourself, you can always recenter it, you big babe. Okay, here's a hint for you. You can use a charged jump while you're stopped on a building to jump across from one building to a different building across the street. I don't know how useful that is, but you might find it handy. Now, if you have an enemy web-tied and you pull back while you're tying, he'll come flying right at you. Now that's the hallmark of a lazy superhero. Why go to him when you can bring him to you, right? Everyone looks at the controller and whines, "There's only one attack button." Will you give me a break? Just because there's only one button called attack doesn't mean it's the only one you can use. It's called a manual. Try to show a little initiative at least. If you buy the Cannonball Kick from the Spidey store, and I recommend it, you can actually attack while swinging. Get good at it and you'll be knocking thugs over like bowling pins. Hey, bowling, there's an idea. Here's something for you. If you're swinging and you pull and hold the swing trigger instead of letting go, you'll hold on to two web lines. The one you were swinging on before and the new one you just shot out. But wait a minute. Why would you do that? Well, I guess there's something for you to think about, huh? While you're flying through the air, that's during a game, I mean, try pressing the jump button. You can do all kinds of crazy moves in the air. While you're jumping off buildings and swinging around, don't forget to stop yourself before you hit the ground. I mean, after all, you may be a superhero, but that doesn't make the ground any softer if you hit it from 50 stories up. Poor Rhino. You know that kid in grade school, the one who had been held back 3 times so he was bigger than the other kids, but he just sat in the corner at recess picking his nose? That was Rhino. Except now he has that cybernetic armor that's been grafted to his body, which makes picking his nose a real challenge. Dr. Octopus. I don't want to give anything away for you, but he's kind of the main troublemaker in this little drama. What do you mean you already knew that? Sheesh, no appreciation. I have nothing new to tell you except for the fact that I'm being paid by the line. And I just made $60. J. Jonah Jameson may seem like a greedy, self-centered jerk. But deep down, he's really a greedy, self-centered, self-righteous jerk. For those of you who are just getting to the party, a quick recap. Spidey fought the Green Goblin last time around. Who won? Gee, what do you think? Man, that was a good game. Go out and buy it. Keep your eyes peeled for little doodads called exploration tokens. They're collectible. You like collecting things, don't you? Of course you do. Want to know a little about Black Cat? Well, according to this profile I have, her real name is Felicia Hardy. She loves adventure and can hold her own in a fight. Oh, and she has a thing for guys in tights. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Looking to earn a few extra hero points? Willing to take some abuse? Why not head over to the Daily Bugle? Even if the esteemed publisher is in one of his nasty moods, you can usually count on Robbie Robertson to pull you through with a little work. If you're interested in maximizing how stylish you are while you move through the city, here's something to keep in mind. Linking stylish moves together is worth more than doing them separately. Words to live by.
No, you the man!
Looking for more stylish tips? Well, clean swings are pretty stylish, assuming you can keep it up. What is a clean swing, you ask? Well, you know, the ones where you don't slam into the side of a building. Sure, you may be out of control, but if you look out of control, you aren't being stylish. Rule number 1, style is everything. Style advisory, dodging is stylish. Let's face it, when thugs hit you, you look like a tool. You have to keep your wits about you in a fight, kid. When your spider sense goes off, you have to be pretty quick on that grab button if you don't want to be eating a knuckle sandwich. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to give you some hero points. Unless, of course, I've already given you the hero points, in which case, you're getting jack squat. Depending on when you release the jump button while swinging, you'll pretty drastically change where you end up. For example, if you're at the top of your swing arc when you release the jump button, you will shoot almost straight up. Think about where you want to end up before you let go of your web, okay? I'm sure you know all about using the jump button to get off a web while you're swinging, right? Well, if you release at the bottom of your swing arc, you'll launch yourself forward with very little upward trajectory. Okay, this isn't Physics 101, so I'll spare you the explanation for why it happens, but trust me, it all makes sense. Just remember that when you're trying to cover distance quickly, you should try and release the jump at the bottom of your swing arc. Counterattacking after you dodge is a very stylish thing to do. Everyone at the club is doing it. Remember, just because you're fighting doesn't mean you have to stop looking cool. When you're attacked, if you press the grab button too early, you're going to get punched in the face, so pay attention to your spider sense. Now, maybe this is obvious, but I wanted to make sure that you know that you can wall sprint from a jump or a swing. Just make sure that the sprint trigger is held down and then hit grab when you hit the wall.
Spidey!
If you're looking for exploration tokens, keep your eyes open all the time. There's one set of tokens that is really well hidden. I'll bet you can find them if you really try, though. Looking for exploration tokens? Well, you might try looking on skyscrapers around the city. I hear there's a set that can be found on the tallest buildings. Quick bit of history for you. The Statue of Liberty was actually a gift from the French. It was created and built in France, disassembled, shipped over to New York, and reassembled here. The statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886. I hope you're taking notes because there's going to be a pop quiz soon.
Right up!
Charging a jump is useful all on its own, but there's a couple of powerful attacks you can buy that use the charged up energy too. Example, with a fully charged jump meter, if you do a sprinting attack, you can slam the bad guys up into the air with your shoulder. Good fun, trust me. Hopefully by now you know all about charging your jump, right? Well, there's some other things you can do with that charged up energy once you buy the right moves. One of them lets you do a punch that can send thugs flying back if you have a fully charged jump meter and press the attack button. There are some nice perks that come with having spider reflexes on. You get more warning about enemy attacks, you move faster than the guys you're fighting, and you get more powerful attacks to boot. Don't forget to use it, especially against supervillains. Some of those guys are pretty tough, and spider reflexes could be the edge you need. Got it?
Look!
You might try looking for hidden items in Central Park. I mean, I would. Okay, so you know one of the buttons is called the attack button, right? Well, just because it's called attack doesn't mean it's the only useful button in a fight. Come on. Use your web, use jump, and definitely dodge. They're all handy on their own, and you can also use them in combos. Try it. There's nothing like beating the snot out of some goon in midair, right? The only problem is that pesky gravity keeps pulling you down. Well, have I got a hint for you? You can yank that guy to you while you're both falling and keep the combo going. Take some practice, but you'll get the hang of it if you work at it. Lucky you! You've stumbled onto a special, super secret, once-in-a-lifetime special hint marker. You get some extra hero points for your trouble. Activate this again, and I'll tell you the same thing, only I'll be lying. If you pull the sprint trigger while you're swinging, it'll make you swing faster. How much of a boost you get depends on when in the swing you pull the trigger. Play around with it. Here's a little navigational aid for you. The big diagonal street that goes the whole length of the island, that's Broadway. Since it runs basically north and south, it's a good, reliable way to get uptown or downtown. Just be grateful you're not stuck in traffic. You know, if I were a superhero and could swing from building to building, I think my favorite spot to swing around would probably be downtown. All those tall buildings, There's a lot of swinging goodness to be had there. Hey, here's a style tip for you. Going fast is stylish. That may not sound like much, but getting up some speed can actually be pretty tricky. Of course, I'm sure you'll come up with some clever ways to do it, because you're a cheater. A quick style pointer. It is stylish to complete a full 360-degree orbit around a tower on a single web line. It's not as easy as you might think. Wall sprinting is so much fun you probably shouldn't even be allowed to do it. But no one asked me when they were making the rules, so there you go. Anyway, on top of everything else, wall sprinting is stylish. Like you need an excuse. When you're trying to link stylish moves together, remember that you only have a little while to make the link. If you screw around, see ya. Just so you know, hitting a wall ends your style chain, unless you wall sprint. Lucky you! You've stumbled onto a special, super secret, once-in-a-lifetime special hint marker. You get some extra hero points for your trouble. Activate this again, and I'll tell you the same thing, only I'll be lying. Some of the most advanced attacks you can buy only work if your spider reflexes are activated. You should be using your spider reflexes anyway, but here's one more reason. Mary Jane. The girl next door. The girl anyway, about Mary Jane. Boy, I've never seen two people with a more complicated relationship. Communication, people. Try it. Ever wondered how spider sense works? Yeah, me too. Here's a little trick you can do. While you're holding two web lines, you can slingshot yourself out. Charge your jump, wait until you sling back, then release to launch yourself forward. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with it, but please use your powers for good, not evil. There are more than 100 challenge markers in the city. Think you can do them all? Good luck, chump. As things progress, the items you find in Spidey stores will be more and more powerful. That mini-map you got there is a handy little tool. Not only does it mark important locations, it also acts as kind of a radar to let you know where the bad guys are. Check it every once in a while, please. Keep an eyeball out for people in distress trying to get your attention. They have all kinds of problems, but most often they'll tell you about a crime they've just spotted. Just remember to take care of the problem once you learn about it, okay? I know what you're thinking. I'm hungry, but I could really use some extra hero points too. Well, say no more. Just head on over to the pizza place, and I'm sure the owner will set you up with a delivery run. When you hear a cry for help, you should try and look into it. I mean, you are a superhero after all, right? There are petty crimes happening almost all the time, so you can fight crime to your heart's content. If you do the old tap web to disarm trick on a thug with no weapon, you'll blind that sucker and send him into full-blown panic mode. This is great fun at parties, too. Guys shooting you? Sure, you can dodge all day long, but how about being a little more proactive, huh? Take the bad guy's guns away by tapping the web button. Man, that's a good feeling. Oh yeah, it works on guys with other types of weapons, too. If you're having trouble keeping track of a particular baddie, try using the lock-on camera. Remember that you can toggle lock-on camera on and off, too. You can dodge anytime, while you're jumping, running, crawling, even swinging. Always try to dodge attacks. Seriously. So, I'm supposed to tell you something about sticking to walls. Let's see. Oh, I got it. You can stick to walls. You're Spider-Man. Yippee skippy. You know, there's over 200 hint markers scattered around the city. And if you actually manage to hit them all, I'll be impressed, because that means you need a lot of help. Every hint marker in the city is a direct line to me for a special piece of information, advice, or I don't know, what have you. Oh, and you'll get some hero points too, in case you're into winning. Now maybe you already know this, but you should be checking your to-do list whenever you're wondering what to do. Duh. It's on your pause menu, so it shouldn't test your hand-eye coordination too much to find it. Remember, ticking off the items on your to-do list is the key to advancing through chapters. Spidey stores are located all over the city. Make it a point to check in every once in a while, especially when you find a new one. They have all kinds of great stuff in them, and let's face it, what good are all those hero points you're earning if you don't spend them on something? Am I right? You can jump the gap between these two towers by charging your jump. Charge jumping is easy and fun. You should be doing it all the time. Seriously. No, seriously. If you push into a wall as you move by it, you'll wall slide along it. From a wall slide, you can jump, stick, sprint, all kinds of stuff. Check it out, baby. You can activate spider reflexes anytime you want, as long as you have juice in your hero meter. Lost? Well, you could use your map, but that's what everyone else does, right? Why not try climbing a tall building to get your bearings? Time for Spider-Man trivia. Spidey gained his superpowers when he was bitten by a genetically engineered spider. Not that I would recommend rushing out and trying that, mind you. You've probably played around with the lock-on camera when you're in fights, but did you know that you can use it in other places as well? Oh yes, like say during various challenges, or when you're trying to activate switches. It's pretty darn useful when you get right down to it. Keep your eyeballs peeled for challenge and hint markers as you make your way through the city. Each marker has been hand-placed by highly skilled marker gnomes, and some of them are in some pretty interesting spots. So, you want some advice, huh? Something to make your life a little easier. How about this? Don't fall in the water. That's all right, don't bother thanking me. Just doing my job. All right, quick geography lesson. Central Park is in the northern half of Manhattan, and it's huge, trust me. If you have to ask, is this Central Park? You ain't there. If you find a place where thugs like to congregate, check it periodically. Nothing like being a proactive crime fighter, right? A little bit of trivia for you. There are 6 hospitals spread across the city. Crazy, huh? There are multiple Spidey stores spread all across the city. Don't worry though, they all have the same stuff, so when you're looking to power up, just find the nearest one. Opponent too far away? Web yank him to you by holding down the web button and then pulling back. It's like fishing, except without the pole. Or the water. Or the fish. It's just an analogy. So, we agree. Wall sliding is cool. Wall sprinting is cool. But it begs the question, which one should you do? How about both? While you're wall sliding, if you hold the sprint trigger and press the grab button, you'll transition to a wall sprint. Does the coolness never end? N.O., baby. There's only one arcade in the whole city, and it has 4 working games. Only 4 games, you say? Yeah, well, that's the lack of competition in the marketplace. things for you. When you're swinging around, try to keep an ear out for calls for help and other sounds that can let you know when something is happening. Hey, I don't want to get into your business or anything, but you don't always have to charge your jump. There are some times when a regular jump is just as good, or maybe even better, and it's definitely faster, right? Well, I've given you advice, but I want to give you a little something else. This hint marker is good for some free hero points. It's my gift to you. Oh yeah, and this is a one-time thing. If you try to come back and get more points, you lame little cheater, you're not going to get anything, so beat it. That flash around your head every time someone attacks? That is your spider sense letting you know that it's time to hit the grab button in order to dodge. There's a sound too, so there is really no excuse for getting hit, okay? You know, being Spider-Man and all, you're a pretty fast guy. That's where spider reflexes come in. Not only does the world go into slow-mo, oh, and for those of you keeping score at home, you don't slow down as much as everything else. You also get those contracting rings that warn you about attacks coming. Just be careful about using your spider reflexes, though. You can use it up, which can be awkward, say, if a supervillain decides to pound you into guacamole. Charge jumps always give you some forward momentum and some upward momentum. The faster you're moving, the more you'll tend to go forward instead of up. So if there's something tall you're trying to jump over, don't forget to stop moving before you jump to maximize your jump height. Otherwise, bada bing, right into the wall. You should definitely take advantage of the fact that you can jump off the wall as you slide along it. It's a great way to keep your momentum going between swings. Did you know that dodging interrupts just about any other action? That means you can try to dodge an attack even if you're in the middle of an attack yourself. Must be nice to be Spider-Man. Here's a hint for those looking to maximize their style. You know how you can perform air tricks by pressing the jump button while you're zooming through the air? Yeah, well guess what? It's stylish, so knock yourself out. Steering while you're swinging is a little crazy. Try not to oversteer. You can end up sending yourself totally in the wrong direction. If you're standing on a roof of a building and you press the grab button, then walk or run to the edge, you'll crawl over the lip and end up on the wall. It's useful for those occasions when you don't want to hurl yourself off a building, which, you know, could happen. There are 4 different sets of exploration tokens to find in the game. You'll get a couple of hero points for finding one token, but when you complete a set of tokens, you will get a bunch of points and a title to go along with it. Ta-da! So keep your eyes peeled, okay? Now keep this on the DL, but there's a set of exploration tokens called the Hideout Token Set. Look around for it. I know it sounds a little crazy, but if you actually charge jump off your web while you're swinging, you actually have more control down long straightaways and you can move faster too. I dare you to prove me wrong. So, you're trying to earn some hero points, huh? Well, you probably already figured out that you can earn points by stopping crime, but did you know that you get points for finding exploration tokens? Yep. Also completing challenges, activating hint markers, lots of things. Get busy. Want to maximize your speed when you're swinging? Here's what you do. Charge your jump and release at the bottom of your swing arc. That should launch you almost parallel to the street for maximum speed. Between swinging, zipping, wall sprinting, and pole swinging, you should be able to stay off the ground and travel stylishly all over the city. No excuses. Okay, here's a dilemma for you. If you swing near the ground, you'll have more points where you can attach your web line, but you'll have to deal with things like signs, awnings, and fire escapes in your way. On the other hand, you can swing higher to stay away from the obstacles, but you'll have fewer points where you can swing. Life is just full of hard choices, but if you're careful, you can probably find good routes for getting around. Practice makes perfect. Some of the most advanced attacks you can buy only work if your spider reflexes are activated. You should be using your spider reflexes anyway, but here's one more reason. Want to scale a building in style? Start sprinting up the building, then charge your jump. At the last second, release the jump button and then use the momentum to start sprinting again. You'll be up the building in no time and you'll look cool doing it. Oh yeah, it's a little tricky, so don't give up if you can't do it right away, okay? You quitter. Did you know you can actually attack from a wall jump? Wacky, huh? You can attack while wall sprinting. You'll launch yourself right at the guy, which must be pretty scary for that poor thug when you stop and think about it. If you tell anyone I told you this, I'll deny it. But one of the sets of exploration tokens scattered around the city is the Skyscraper Token set. Wonder where you find those, huh? Psst, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. One of the sets of exploration tokens is the Buoy Token set. There are a total of 40 titles you can earn. I suppose you could figure that out by counting the spaces, but you hate counting, right? I'm here for you. That map you've got is handy for all kinds of stuff. One of the most useful features is the fact that bad guys show up. That's especially good if you're having trouble tracking down a stray goon. There are some nice perks that come with having spider reflexes on. You get more warning about enemy attacks, you move faster than the guys you're fighting, and you get more powerful attacks to boot. Don't forget to use it, especially against supervillains. Some of those guys are pretty tough, and spider reflexes could be the edge you need. Got it? Looking to score some extra hero points? Try hitting one of those challenge markers and see what you can do. That's a great way to get better at swinging and moving around the city, too. If you're thinking that superhero has got to be the most thankless job in the world, head over to the Daily Bugle and get a little reminder that freelance photographer is still down a few rungs. Remember that you advance through chapters of the story by completing your to-do list. That's good to remember whether you're trying to move ahead or if you want to hang back for a little while. You think fighting supervillains is tough? Try delivering pizzas for a bit. Now that's stress. Tired of the grind of the crime fighter's life in the big city? Craving a little romance? I humbly suggest making your way to Mary Jane's. It's just the place for a weary superhero to break up his daily routine. Here's a little Spider-Man trivia for you. Peter Parker's day job is student/freelance photographer for the Daily Bugle. Between the homework, photo assignments, and fighting crime at night, he is one tired guy. So, let me tell you 3 things about Black Cat. 38, 24, 36. End of story.
Out of my way, you
Looking for a stylish way to get fancy while you swing? Try doing a loop-de-loop. It's hard. You need a good head of steam going to pull it off, but you'll definitely wow your fans if you manage it. And I don't think you can do it. Try hitching a ride on a helicopter for some great views of the city. Who knows? Maybe you'll even get a ride to someplace new.
Hey, how's it going?
You can see the Statue of Liberty from the southern tip of the island. Kind of makes you wonder if there's some way to get out there, huh? Unless you're dumber than a box of rocks, you probably figured out that there's 2 types of crimes that you come across in the city. There's crimes that you just kind of discover, and there's crimes a citizen tells you about. What's the difference? Well, the big one is that you don't have to do anything about the random crimes. That's right, there's no strings attached. You see someone beating some guy up, and you can just walk away if you want, even though you're Spider-Man. If you learn about a crime from a citizen, though, well, you should be ready to deal with the problem. If you don't, there's going to be repercussions. Don't make me explain what that word is.
Hey, it's me.
You know about the little green question mark over the heads of some of the random citizens, right? Well, it means they have something to tell you, something important. It's usually a crime they want to report. Sometimes it's a little surprise, though, so stay on your toes. You know all those titles you can earn? Some of them are pretty tough, but the hardest one has got to be gold medalist. You have to successfully complete every single challenge in the city, and that is seriously tough. Seriously. Let's see, I'm supposed to fill you in on the name of one of the sets of exploration tokens. Well, it's called the Secret Token set. Yep, Secret Tokens. Tells you a lot, huh? But you're glad you stuck around for that little pearl of wisdom. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to give you some hero points. Unless, of course, I've already given you the hero points, in which case, you're getting jack squat. There are all kinds of cool knickknacks you can pick up in the Spidey store, and some of them are definitely high-ticket items. The most expensive item is a special speed upgrade. When you see it, you'll understand why.
My purse! Stop!
Alright, wait for it. Alright, we got the Knowledge Seeker word. Now, remember what it said?
After you find every hint marker in the game, they'll all reset. Only this time, they'll all say something different. Seriously.
Alright, let's try.
Please!
Something different. Something different.
Hey, Spider.
Something different. Something different. Something different. Something different.
Why, yada. You wise guy, I'll give you something different.